गाइस, कैसे हो आप सभी। उम्मीद करता हूँ सब मस्त रहोगे, मजे में रहोगे और ये प्लेलिस्ट को बहुत अच्छी तरीके से एंजॉय करते रहोगे। अभी तक के सारे सीरीज में हमने देखा है कैसे हम सेशन बना सकते हैं, कैसे हम उस हमारा जो डेटा है, हमारा जो फाइल है, उसको हम कैसे चंक्स में डाल के एंड देन एम्बेडिंग्स में कन्वर्ट करके एक वेक्टर डीबी में स्टोर कर सकते हैं। पिछले वीडियो में हमने देखा कि कैसे हम इनपुट एंड आउटपुट गार्डरेल्स यूज करके अनवांटेड डेटा जो यूजर तक ना पहुंचे वो इम्प्लीमेंट करें। इस वीडियो में हम देखने वाले हैं कि अगर आपके नॉलेज बेस के अंदर एक फोटो या एक इमेज प्रेजेंट है, हाउ डू यू मेक श्योर कि वो इमेज भी आपके डेटाबेस में स्टोर्ड है एंड इट इज गेटिंग डिस्प्लेड राइट इनटू द फ्रंट एंड। So yeah, that is a new and interesting concept to see. So without any further delay, let's get into the video and let's start with the implementation. Now to check if the image is present in your knowledge base, there are some things that we will be updating here. Okay, so let's first go here. We will have to first create a library which is of the name markdown sanitizer.ts, which will basically help us get the entire schema for all the things that are present in our files. Okay, so the first thing here is to create a markdown sanitizer wherein there would be different things that we'll be having in the markdown files. First, specifically for the image now, so we will have to import default schema from hashed util 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 sanitize. Okay, we'll be taking it from hashed util sanitize. Okay, so we'll do export const markdown schema equal to, first would be everything inside default schema, and these are the tag names that we will be having. So we'll have tag names. The first would be default schema, which will be inside a bracket slash tag names or an empty array. And specifically the first thing would be image and the second thing would be an iframe. Okay, we will be displaying the iframe. Let's go into the attributes. What are the attributes that we will be having? The first thing would be obviously default schema dot attributes, and inside image we will be having the source, an alternate path, what is the title of the image, what is the width, what is the height, and also a loading symbol. And for iframe we'll have the src, allow full screen, title, there would be something called frame border, and also referrer policy. Okay, we'll not have the title for now. If you want, you can also help display the title. So these are the two things that we'll be taking from the markdown sanitizer. After we have created the markdown sanitizer, the next thing for us is to now update the chunk and ingest logic. Okay, remember if we had created this chunk and ingest.ts file, which will help us chunk and ingest the text that we have into the database. So what we will be doing here, for all the files that we are creating, for all the files that we have for images, what we will do, we will store the images inside the public folder. So that it becomes very easy for the LLM to access it and then chunk it and then store it into the database. For this, we'll create a function with the name async function. We'll say augment text with image descriptions. We'll have the text as a string, which will also have a promise with string. We'll have an image regex, which will be in this particular format, and we'll say let match, and also let a new text equal to the text that we have, and also we will be having replacements, the start as a number, the end as the number as well, and the replacement as a string. Okay, and it will be equal to an array, empty array. So the next thing what we'll be doing is we will be find all the matches first. It is to find all the matches that we have. So inside a while loop, we'll have if match is equal to the image regex of the text which is not equal to null. If it is not null, if it is present, now then you have to follow these steps. Do a full match with the alternate text and the source of this match. Create an index for the image. So match dot index. Then check if it is a local path we care about. Okay, so we'll have to normalize the path. Normalized path equal to image path dot image, just a second, image path dot starts with slash. If it start with slash, then do image path dot slice 1 or else the given image path. Okay, this can be also kept as source, where I'll just remove this source and keep it like this. Now what we do is only process if it points to upload directory. Okay, so if I say if the normalized path does not include uploads, continue. I'll just say continue. Okay, now after this is done, what we will be doing is we will be getting the local path, which will be path dot join process dot cwd, and the path name would be public, and pass the normalized path. Okay, so what would be the path that we'll be taking here? This path would be from path. Okay, after this I have a try catch block, so to check if file exists, so I'll just say await fs dot access local path. This fs will be from the node fs. Okay, so I'll just import this from import fs from fs slash promises. Fs dot access the local path, and then have an image buffer as to read the file. Fs dot read file from the local path, and then to convert the image into a base 64 format. Obviously we can't store the entire image as it is into the database. We have to convert it into a base 64 format. So I'll just remove this. Next thing what we are going to do is we are going to generate a description. Okay, I'll just say const model equal to gen AI. I'll say gen AI dot get generative model as model equal to Gemini 2.5 flash. Okay, for this we also need to have the gen AI processed here. Okay, don't worry, we will do that thing as well. For that we'll do one thing, we will just go to the Chroma client and then have the gen AI configured over there. We'll come into our Chroma client and just create a Gemini API key here, process.env. It won't be like this. I think it would be like this, generative AI API key, a big name. Okay, and also add it here, missing environment variables. Now we'll have const gen AI equal to new Google generative AI, which I will be importing from Google generative AI. Not here, it would be @ Google / generative AI. It would be Google generative AI. Okay, so I take it from here, passing the Gemini API key. Okay, so we take it from here and also get the gen AI would be taken from the Chroma client. So I'll just pass gen AI. Okay, now this issue is gone. So now to create the description, we will be obviously using the Gemini 2.5 Flash model only, and then we will give the prompt as describe this image in detail for a knowledge base, capture text, diagrams, and key visual elements. So what we are doing here is we are taking the image, we are giving it again to the LLM. We are saying, okay, describe me this image so that this image can be stored into the knowledge base. Okay. So when the user will give it a prompt, this will also be used as a text and then give us the response. So I'll just say const result equal to await model dot generate content. Okay, wherein the content would be not this, it would be prompt, and this would be an array, not an object. So I'll just remove this and have this prompt, and I have the inline data as data with base 64 image and the image mime type as JPG. I'll just keep it as PNG. I don't want to have it as a JPEG format. Okay. Now we have the description as result.response.text, and after that we will have the replacement. So I'll just say const replacement equal to dollar full match \n, and then say this is kind of an AI description. Okay, double star, and then also pass the description over here, description dot trim, and then have the \n again at the last along with the new line. Okay, and then we say new text equal to new text dot replace full match along with replacement. Okay, and then I think we don't need this, and then we say inside console.error failed to process the image, and then we return the new text. Okay, so this is first thing that we are doing. We are having augmented text with image descriptions. So I did not export it. I'll just export constant. Okay, now this is done. So we have our first function created. Okay, so let's go into creating another function. This function is processing image in markdown. So we'll have a sync function process images in markdown in the form of a text, which is a string, and also a promise string. Now the next step here is obviously to get the image regex again. Okay, so I'll just get the image regex from here, the same image regex. Okay, const matches equal to dot text dot match all with the image regex. So all the contents that are present inside our MD file will be matched to the image. Okay, now the next thing is to first remove this and add it here, and if we say matches.length equal to 0, return the text, and then let process text equal to text. Okay, so there is one more thing that we are going to do here. We will be processing it in reverse order. Why reverse order? Because we don't want to mess up the indices if we are using any indices. But since we are doing dot replace, we will be very careful about all the unique matches that are present in the file. So what we'll do here, we'll have this entire thing. I'll explain you. Have a for loop to see if the full match and alternate text and the image path is present. Okay, we don't need the index right here. Now, if we'll be checking if it starts with this or it is present inside the uploads folder, and remove the public prefix. Okay, get this, and then we will have to remove the public prefix. I'll just remove this and say uh, if normalized path dot start with public slash, please remove, please put the normalized path as normalized path or slice. Okay, we'll slice it, and we'll slice it with the number 7 and have the local path. We'll have the full local path as path.join process.cwd public and normalized path. Okay, what is the error? Cannot assign normalized path. I'll just change it to let. Okay, now inside the try catch block, first thing is to access the full local path. Okay, then read the file, read the entire file here, convert the data into base 64 format image buffer to base 64. Now the next thing here is for a simple MIME type detection. MIME detection. So we'll have const x equal to path dot xname as full local path dot to lowercase, and then we'll see let the MIME type be. We don't want to have other MIME types. We'll say just let MIME type equal to image slash png. Okay, and then we'll say if the MIME type is not JPEG, we just need only this. We'll just remove this. We'll say if the exact type is equal to .jpg or equal to JPEG, then keep the MIME type as image slash JPEG, and if exact is .webp, and then keep it as WBP. Here we will have a different kind of prompt that we will be using. We will be saying it like this. We will be saying it as describe this image in a detail for retrieval purposes. Focus on the text, labels and relationships in diagrams. We'll have the inline data as base64 image and the MIME type. We'll get the description from the response, and we'll also say the full match is like this, and then replace the text. Okay, so this is another thing that we did. We process the images in the markdown. And the third thing is to add all those things here. We'll say augment text with image description, and we'll just say all const augmented text equal to await process images in markdown with text, then split it, then do it chunks, split the text, and then add entire thing into the DB. Okay, so this is the ingestion process. This is how we will be ingesting all the files into the database. Now, how do we get that thing into our front end? Let's understand that. So to add the things in the front end, our next step is to modify our rules here. Okay, so we'll add some rules over here so that we can get the image. So we say if you find an image using markdown image syntax in the context, we'll say include it in your answer. Okay, the 7th rule that we'll be adding is use the provided. I had given the AI description to answer the question, and then I'll just say the last one as do not describe the image in your answer, just use the description to answer the question, and do not describe the image until asked. But we'll say always show, always sh not how, show if it is relevant. Okay, this is the route that we have updated. Now the next task is to go into the front end and do the magic to display the image as well. Okay, we'll go into the front end, which is app slash chat slash id slash page.tsx, and we will be modifying a lot of things over here. Okay, so I'll, rather than doing everything, I'll just copy it here and paste it here and explain you what are the things that are modified. Okay, so what we did here, we don't need this for now, I'll just comment it. So what we did here is, if you see, we are using the React markdown. Okay, sorry, rehype markdown we are using. So here, these are the components that are present. One is for code, one is for iframe. If you want to go different UIs for different kind of elements in HTML, so you can do it like that. But for now, we are just going for code, iframe, and image. So this is for code, wherein we are using the React syntax highlighter to highlight the code present. For iframe, we are giving the HTML iframe tag. For now, I just comment it, we don't need it. And for image, we are using the next image with the height, width, and the type of quality. So we'll just have the typing indicator here. We'll have the input as well, and we'll also have the button. Okay, we'll remove the size. Okay, so now that we have everything in working, what we'll do is inside public, we will have a folder with the name uploads, and this is where we will be uploading an image. So I'll just go to Google, I'll just say machine learning. Okay, and I'll just say go on an image. I'll use this image. I'll copy this and I'll say paste image.png, and I'll use this image inside the knowledge base. I'll add a new knowledge, machine learning dev.md. Okay, and I'll have this is an image, and I'll just say to this particular agent, please write a new KB for machine learning inside the knowledge, inside the existing new file, and add the image inside uploads folder as well. Add the image not inside from the uploads folder as well. So rather than me writing it, I'll just give it to the LLM to write it, and let's wait for it to just complete its writing. We have a new knowledge base also ready. What we'll do is cancel this, and to make it work, we have to check in into the GitHub repo. Okay, so we have our nggraph ready as well. Okay, so let us check in git add. Before that, I'll remove the add.env into the folder. Okay, it is already added. So I'll just say git add git commit -m. Made some changes in KB part 3. Okay, and then I'll just say git post origin main. Okay, and let's go to the repo. So it was under the name of mine. So I'll just go here, refresh. Let's get into the GitHub actions. Made some changes. Let's see if it is working or not. It's ingesting machine learning dev. Okay, it's working. It has worked. Let's go into second brain to check it. Yes, there is this thing added. Okay, now let's get into the front end. I'll say what is machine learning, explain me with an image. Okay, I'll just say what is machine learning. Please explain me with an image. So going to the LLM, and there's some error again. Post API chat session ID 400. There were some couple of issues that I faced. I was just debugging it. It took me some time to debug it, but I'll tell you what was the issue. The first thing was we were not able to get the exact chat messages because the messages API route was present inside the chat folder. Hence, all the history was not able to be visible. So now we have it visible, and somehow the next image was not able to parse this thing. So I just converted into slash this HTML image attribute. Now that we go over here, we can see our entire history for this session as well, and we can also see this image illustrates a typical neural network architecture related to a machine learning workflow found in the project's asset. Okay, so this is how we are adding images as well. Now that we have images present in our DB or in our knowledge base, next task would be to display the YouTube videos if they are present in the knowledge base. So in the next video, we are going to understand how we can get the YouTube videos and display them onto the user. So if you like the video, make sure to like, share and subscribe to the channel, and let me know your thoughts on how you are liking this series. See you guys in the next one. Until then, bye bye.